Hello everyone, welcome to the Economy Primer series of Drishti IAS. I am Ritu and today's topic is Nidhi Company. So, moving towards the points of discussion. Before moving to the points of discussion, first of all, we should know that why we are discussing Nidhi Company, because Nidhi Company is now in trend and so many government has imposed regulations on them, and because of the regulations they are in news, and most of these companies are famous in southern part of this country. So that's why we have chosen this topic. So moving ahead. So first of all, we are going to discuss that why it is in news and the topics related to it. Then we'll have a brief introduction about the Nidhi Company, then benefits of this company, governing laws related to the Nidhi Company, restrictions on Nidhi companies, challenges in India related to the Nidhi Company, practice question for prelims and mains. So moving to the discussion part. So here we have taken few cutouts of the newspaper which are relevant. ROC penalizes Nidhi firms for violations. Nidhi companies need to give more disclosure, inform about change in control acquisition. Ministry of Corporate Affairs issues public advisory for Nidhi companies operating in non-banking finance space. Modi government amends rules governing Nidhi companies, declaration now mandatory for the companies before starting to accept deposit. So what all these cutouts says that? So all these cutouts says that whatever is happening in the functioning of Nidhi companies are not going up to the mark, and that's why government is imposing restriction on them. And there is a ministry which is called a Ministry of Corporate Affairs, which is a regulating authority of all the Nidhi companies. So they are regulating that how Nidhi company should function effectively so that there will be no fraudery and scams related to this company. So moving to the introduction part of the Nidhi company. So, Nidhi Company is a non-banking financial company recognized under Section 406 of 2013 Companies Act is called as Nidhi Company. So, what is NBFC here? So, NBFC is just like banking institution, but they are not registered or licensed. But they had to take permission from the RBI to operate in this company. So, they act as a bank when for the marginalized section and when it needed. So, that is the NBFC, and it is a kind of NBFC. And it was established to lend and borrow money from its member, and it is categorized as non-banking financial companies because they mostly operate in unorganized money market. So what is the definition of NBFC is that they have to behave as a bank when there is no ability of bank, and in remote areas we have seen that there is no ability of the bank, and whatever the bank is situated, it is very far from their residence area. So that's why NBFC has a greater role into those area, and the people who have a less financial knowledge, less banking knowledge, for them NBFC is a very great boon. And they are also referred as a mutual benefit companies, benefit funds, mutual benefit funds, permanent funds, and the regulating authority is the Ministry of Corporate Affairs. We already know it. And before the Corporation Act of 2013, this company was already existing. So in prelims examination, if there will be the question that Nidhi companies are existed before the 2013 Companies Act or not, then your answer must be that it was already existing. So it is not after 2013 phenomena. And Tamil Nadu is home to most of the Nidhi companies, and it is home to most of the 80% of the Nidhi businesses in India. And Nidhi company should definitely use Nidhi Limited in every businesses. So suppose that if you want to open a Nidhi company, then your company name must be end with the Nidhi Limited. So this is the criteria. And what is the paid up capital of Nidhi company? So the paid up capital is up to 5 lakhs, and the members are 200 members. So these are the basic requirements for the Nidhi company. Moving to the next slide, which is benefits we have for the Nidhi company. So just like the other NBFC where you have to register and you have to take license for the RBI, Nidhi company has been exempted from such regulations, and Nidhi company don't have to register with the RBI, and they don't have to take license from the RBI. And sometimes it creates lots of confusion also, but RBI has exempted it because the Nidhi company borrow and purchase and lend money among themselves. So because of its intricate nature, the RBI has been exempted from the Nidhi company. So the first benefit, that very easy formation, because many times if you are purchasing and if you are lending anything and if you are establishing any NBFC or any other organization, you need permission from the RBI, and that requires different kind of regulation. So that process become very tedious. But in case of Nidhi company, you don't have to do things. And then cost efficient registration. So the paid up capital is just 5 lakhs. So this is very beneficial for the middle class of this country, that they can invest 5 lakhs and they can become a member of this company, and no RBI regulation less compliance. So we already have discussed that there is no regulation by the RBI. More certainty in Nidhi company. The company's major goal is to encourage its member to save regularly. So in the country like India, and it should be that every person has this tendency to save money, and to save money in a thrifty way, and to gather so much of money. So for that, Nidhi company is the best example. From toddler to the senior citizens, we have this tendency to save money in a very few amount. So for them, Nidhi company has become a boon. And other advantages we have, just like less level of risk and non-payment of loans. So they provide loans on a very cheaper rate. The interest rate is very cheaper. So that makes them very easy to operate. On the other hand, net own fund invest 1 gets 20. So what is net own fund? So if any owner of capital, so if the person invest in a Nidhi company, suppose that the person is investing 1 rupees to raise funds for the company. So that is called as net own fund. And if the fund would be raised by more than 20, so it would be 1:20 ratio. So this is the net own fund ratio of that particular thing. So these all are very beneficial in the Nidhi company. Moving to the next slide, which is that governing laws. So what governing laws we have into the Nidhi company, because these are not governed by the RBI, doesn't mean that they are limitless and they don't have any government's authority or control. They do have government's authority and control. So we have the Nidhi rules 2014 govern Nidhi institution, and it is also take care of the Companies Act 2013. And then RBI has specifically exempted. We already know that there is no clearance needed from the RBI, and every Nidhi organization must make sure that it has a 200 members or more than within a year of its founding. So these are the rules we have for the Nidhi companies, and it is mainly governed through the Company Act 2013, and every Nidhi company should have 200 members when it was founded, or within a year. If they don't have, they have to comprise 200 members. Moving to the next slide, which is what are the restrictions we have on Nidhi companies. So here they have written shall not. It means that you have to take care of all these things and you should not do all these things. If you are a member of Nidhi company, or if you are opening a Nidhi company, conduct chit funds, hire purchases, leasing, insurance, so you should not do such things. Issue debt instrument or preferences share, open any current account with its participant, purchase of securities or controlling the composition of directors, engage in any activity other than name giving business, borrowing. So when you have to work for the Nidhi company, you have to work in the name of Nidhi Private Limited. You don't have to work in the name of other things, and you cannot comprise with the other businesses, and you cannot manage. You have to lend and borrow money among your members, and whatever the members, it should have 200 members. So suppose that if any Nidhi company has 200 members, they have to lend and they have to borrow money among themselves. And there is a provision for interest rate, but that interest rate is very cheaper to other non-banking financial institutions, and engage in any type of cooperation agreement. So you should not do being a Nidhi company. Moving to the challenges in India. So what challenges we have in this country related to the Nidhi company? So member specificity. So we already know that we cannot lend money and borrow money apart from the Nidhi member. So this is another criteria for the member specificity. No outsider can deposit money. So if any Nidhi company comprises 200 to 300 members, only the member of Nidhi company can deposit or lend money. You cannot have this kind of facility from outside, that if you are not a part of Nidhi company and if you want to deposit money in a Nidhi company, you cannot do that. It is very intricate in nature. Limited lending capacity, because whatever the raise has been fund, it has been raised by the Nidhi members. So it has a definitely limitations on the lending and borrowing capacity. So this is another challenges we have. No advertisement. It means that you cannot advertise or publicize the Nidhi Company Limited, and if you have to do, it should be within the members only. So you cannot do this thing. And single ownership, and we already have discussed that you have to discuss and you have to do anything in the name of Nidhi Company Limited. So there is only single ownership. No other business entity could be involved here. Time boundaries. So a Nidhi is only permitted to operate its deposit plans for maximum of 5 years. So they have this time boundary. Most of the banking institution, we have said that they don't have any time boundaries. So all these factors made Nidhi Company very limited, and these are the challenges which are very crucial for in context of India. Moving to the next slide. Next slide is the practice question for prelims. What is the primary objective of Nidhi companies in India? And your first option is promoting agriculture research, second facilitating foreign direct investments, regulating stock exchanges, promoting financial inclusion and providing credit facilities to members. So you already know the answer, kindly give in the comment section. Moving to the mains part, examine the impact of Nidhi companies on local economies and suggest measures to enhance their role in fostering inclusive growth. So we already have discussed that India has decided it will become $5 trillion economy by 2025, and it is already end of 2023. And if you have to achieve this target in 202 years, then you have to be very careful for the micro managing and microfinance. And Nidhi company serves as a great tool for the microfinance, and you have to take care of the interest of the marginalized section and also the middle income groups. So for middle income groups, Nidhi company proves to be a very suitable example. So you have to be very careful into this direction. So first, what you have to decide, that you have to give intro of the Nidhi company. That it is a microfinance institution and it provides and it facilitates a person to save money, to thrift money. So these are the basic criteria for the Nidhi company, and then you can also write that what is the paid up capital, and then you can also write the membership, and then you can also write that how many directors are there, and 3 directors should be from the Nidhi company. And so these are the basic structure of the Nidhi company. And then what facility it provides? So it helps the masses of the marginalized section, especially the middle income group, promotes the saving culture, thrift money, also provide loans at a cheaper rate and very easy way of getting loan. Very they don't have much what you can say rules and regulations just like other NBFCs. So in that way, that is becoming very people friendly entities. So India needs such kind of entities. However, there are certain regulations and certain challenges related to the Nidhi company, and we can see that there are so many fraudery and scams are happening in the name of Nidhi company. So the government of India must be careful while registering such kind of the things. So that's it for today's lecture. If you have any question related to this lecture, kindly ask in the session. And then the PDF of this lecture is available on Telegram, so kindly avail from there. Thank you.